Hey, what's going on, guys? Electricans back here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be making another NFL video. I'm going to be kind of just going over the NFL playoffs, recapping all the games, going over my predictions and whatnot. And yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and throw up my predictions on the screen right now. And by the way, you guys absolutely freaking destroyed that video. Holy freaking shit, guys. 20K views. That video did absolutely freaking amazing. I want to thank you guys for all the support and all the likes and all the views on that video. 20K freaking views, guys. That is, you guys don't even understand. Like, that is huge for our channel. So, yeah, we gained a lot of subscribers off of it. So, NFL videos are only videos. I usually make like one or two NFL videos a year, but because that video got so many views and we gained so many subscribers off that video, I felt I needed to go over my predictions again, just kind of recap the playoffs for you guys. So yeah. All right, first game of the playoffs was the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans. And of course, if you guys, I'm going to put my predictions on the screen real quick. I picked the Cleveland Browns to win this game because I thought their defense would take care of business and stop a young quarterback and rookie head coach and whatnot. But yeah, 45-14, Texans win that game. Absolutely curb stomped the Browns. Freaking CJ Stroud absolutely picked apart that defense. The Browns, Joe Flacco, 2 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. That doesn't help you either. They did not run the ball very good. Just, yeah, the Browns didn't show up to play, man, and Houston went out there and dominated. So yeah, got to give props to Houston for that one. Not a shocking upset by any means, but good Lord, Cleveland, what the heck was that? The next game was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, this was my worst prediction of the playoffs. My dumbass picked the Dolphins to win this game. Good Lord, this game was freaking horrible too. I mean, the weather was absolutely shit. It was -7 degrees and windy in Kansas City. Tua could not throw the freaking football to save his life. Freaking Miami Dolphins just got absolutely curb stomped. They couldn't fucking stop Kansas City's offense. Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good game, 262 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not my brightest prediction. I really just wanted to pick an upset, and that was the one I chose, but my real gut feeling was the Chiefs, but I just really wanted my bracket to be somewhat different than everybody else's, so I picked the Dolphins, and yeah, it came back to bite me in the ass. So that's that game. The next game was the Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys, and oh boy, talk about a fraud freaking football team, the Dallas Cowboys, man. What in the actual fuck was that game? Like, the Dallas Cowboys, #1 offense in the league, top 5 defense, and they do that at home against the youngest football team in the NFL. I don't know. That's all you got to say about this game. They got their asses handed to them. It's the Green Bay freaking Packers. This team literally just shits gold. They literally are the most spoiled freaking team in the NFL. But yeah, man, what the hell was that, Dallas? Do better. And I don't know who it was in that game. It was the most wide open I think I've ever seen a receiver in my whole life. I think it was Luke Musgrave. I don't know, you have to fact check me on that. Luke Musgrave was one of the tight ends on the Packers. So freaking wide open. Not even a guy within 20 yards of the dude. So wide open. I mean, every single drive the Packers had, wide open. The freaking Cowboys could not play defense against the Packers. 48 points. Absolutely freaking absurd. And here in the next game, we have the Rams versus the Lions. This was one of the better games of the playoffs. I picked the Lions to win this one. One of the 2 games I actually got correct in the wild card round. Yeah, this game was very good, though. Just, it started out as an offensive shootout, and then both teams clamped up on defense in the second half. Puka Nacua went absolutely freaking mayhem in this game. 9 receptions for 181 yards. The Lions finally get their first playoff win since 1993, 2-1. I don't know, one of those years. It's been over 30 years, though. The Lions finally get their first playoff game. And I'm a Bears fan, and I was actually rooting for the Lions in this game. I said, you know what? I'll root for the Lions one time, and that's all I get. So, yeah, picked them to win, too. So, once again, one of the 2 games I actually got correct in the wild card round. I did horrible in the wild card round this year. Then in the next game, this was the second game I got correct. The Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. I mean, pretty easy pick. Taking the Buffalo Bills here. The Steelers, like if you watch my predictions video, I kind of just shit on the Steelers in my predictions video. I said that they weren't a good football team, and I think that really showed in this game. They were definitely missing TJ Watt in that game. They got 2 sacks, but if TJ Watt was in this game, it would have been a lot closer. TJ Watt is literally the heart and soul of the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Bills, they just, I don't know, they didn't have an amazing game, but they just went in there and handled business. You know, they won by 2 possessions, 31-17. Pretty good game. I was rooting for the Bills too, so. And the final game of Wild Card Weekend, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, the Eagles, those losing streak definitely carried over into the playoffs for them. The momentum was just gone. They were just dead. They were just freaking dead, dude. The season was over. 9-32. The Buccaneers absolutely curb stomped them. Baker Mayfield went absolutely freaking berserk in this game. 337 yards, 3 touchdown passes. They ran the ball pretty good too, which the Buccaneers are not really well at doing. The freaking Eagles, man, they're just bad. They didn't play a good game. No A.J. Brown in this one, but, I mean, you still got Devontae Smith. You still got Dallas Goedert. You still got good running weapons. You still got a very good offensive line. I mean, there's no excuse for that Eagles team. I don't know, man. They just were not very good in the second half of the season, and it carried over the playoffs. And, yeah, they got their asses handed to them. On to the divisional round, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. The Ravens handled business in this game. Their defense absolutely shut down C.J. Stroud. Yeah, I mean, Lamar had a pretty good game too. 100 yards rushing, 152 through the air, 2 touchdown passes. Pretty good freaking game for the Ravens. They handled business. They did what they were supposed to do. That's about all there really is to say about this game. Yeah, the better team won and handled business, 34-10. Then we got the Green Bay Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers. And boy, this game was kind of scary for me. Oh man, the Green Bay Packers definitely should have won this game. A missed field goal there at the end costed them big time, and Jordan Love throwing the game-sealing interception. That too. 24-21, the Niners barely pulled out. I thought it was a pretty good game though, you know. The 49ers win another one against Green Bay, the 5th time since, I don't know, since what, 2012 that the Niners have beat the Packers in the playoffs. Brock Purdy was super lucky in this game. He threw multiple passes that should have been intercepted. The 49ers got away with this game big time, man. They should not have won this game. The Packers definitely should have won it, but you know, it is what it is. 24-21, they pulled it out in the end. Game-winning drive by Brock Purdy. He did not have a very good game until that final drive in the 4th quarter. 252, 1 touchdown for Brock Purdy. McCaffrey killed it with 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, 49ers barely squeak it out, but they moved on. Then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions. Another pretty good game here. Offensively, both teams did pretty good. Baker Mayfield threw a couple picks, but he still had 349 yards. Jared Goff had a pretty good game, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball pretty good. Nothing really spectacular about this one. It was a pretty good game. Nothing too memorable. I kind of figured the Lions would win it. I didn't think the Buccaneers were that good of a football team, but they definitely put up a good fight. So, give props to the Buccaneers. The one thing from this game, though, at the very end of the game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could have called a timeout. The Detroit Lions did not kneel the clock out properly. They kneeled it on 3rd down when there was 37 seconds left. And the Buccaneers had one timeout that they could have used, but they didn't use it for some reason. Like, I get the Lions could have kicked the field goal, but this is a playoff game. You got to take every chance you have to win it. I don't know. It made no sense to me why the Bucs didn't take that timeout. I know it was very, very low chance that the Bucs would have somehow pulled off a win, but you know, at least you're giving your team a chance. This is the freaking playoffs. This is win or go home. I did not understand why the Bucs did not use the timeout there. 37 seconds is plenty of time in the NFL, as we've seen in previous seasons. Yeah, Lions handled business and won another playoff game. Then the final game of the divisional round. This was the most heartbreaking game to me. The Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, good Lord, man. The Kansas City Chiefs ownership of the Buffalo Bills in the divisional round. It continues. Another heartbreaking freaking loss for the Buffalo Bills, man. This one was, man, very heartbreaking. It really does feel like kind of a do or die season for Buffalo. I mean, I think they'll be good as long as they have Josh Allen, but man, it's just like, it seems like their Super Bowl window is just, it's going to close on them. You know, their defense is not getting any younger. You know, you got Poyer and Hyde in the secondary. They're getting old. You got a pretty old pass rush and with Von Miller and whatnot. Oh, man. Just such a soul-crushing loss for the Buffalo Bills. They missed a game-tying field goal there at the end. Josh Allen not making good decisions at the end either. Not hitting Stephon Diggs, of course, missing that big catch down the field. And then Josh Allen missing Stephon Diggs for a first down, causing them to have to kick the field goal, and then of course they missed it. Just a soul-crushing loss. I think everybody is sick to the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL, except for Chiefs fans, of course. But man, soul crusher there for the Buffalo Bills. 27-24. That was that game. Then the conference championship rounds here. We got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Ravens. Good freaking Lord. The Baltimore Ravens. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over and over again. The freaking Baltimore Ravens in the first half could not freaking stop Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, I think he had almost 100 yards in the first half. He probably did have 100 yards in the first half. I mean, they could not stop Travis Kelce. Every single third down, they were converting it. The Chiefs were doing whatever they wanted on offense. Then in the second half, the Ravens defense finally started to clamp up. They started getting stops, but then their offense just kept shooting themselves in the foot. Oh my freaking God, dude. Zay Flowers with the freaking fumble in the end zone for the touchback. That's 7 points off the board. Then on the next drive, they drive all the way down the field, and then Lamar throws a freaking horrible interception in the end zone. That's more points off of the board. And then, of course, the Ravens go down and get a field goal. I mean, that's 10 points that they should have had, at least 10 points. Who knows? If Lamar doesn't throw that pick and he does what he usually does and run the football, maybe they get another touchdown and it's not even a close game. Maybe they just run away with it. And the penalties, too. My God, just stupid penalties by the Ravens. Like, the Ravens absolutely should have won that game. Then you got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Detroit Lions. This was a heartbreaking game for most of the country, but since I'm a Bears fan, I don't root for divisional rivals, except for that one game. I gave them one game. I was rooting for the 49ers in this one, but then again, the Lions, they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. 24-7 lead at the half. Come on, you're running away with the freaking football game. Come out of halftime, 24-7. The 49ers, they go down the field, they get a field goal. Then the Lions are rolling on offense, doing their thing. They get down. The 49ers finally stop them on third down, fourth down. What does Dan Campbell do? He decides, we're going to go for it on fourth down instead of taking the points. So they go for it on fourth down, and they drop the ball. 49ers ball. Turnover. No points. Then the 49ers drive down the field, score a touchdown. Easily. Bada bing, bada boom. Just like that. It's 24-17. It's a ball game again. Next drive. First play of the drive. Jahmyr Gibbs fumbles the ball. Turnover. San Francisco. Then they go down and score. Tie the game. 24-24. Just like that. The San Francisco 49ers absolutely just flipped the game. It was 24-7, and then in like 8 minutes of game time, 24-24, tie football game. Dan Campbell, man, just made some very poor decisions in this one. I get you want to stick to your philosophies. You don't want to switch up what you're doing. You want to be aggressive. Go for it on fourth down. 6 points is better than 3, but had they just taken the points on those fourth down attempts instead of going for it, they would have won the game. San Fran wins 34-31. You have those extra 6 points. You win 37-34. Soul-crushing loss for the Detroit Lions. But hey, they won 2 playoff games this year. They haven't won a playoff game in 30 years before this season. And great season for the Lions. GG's to them. Kudos to them for a great season. You'll be back next year. You just got to get better on defense. But yeah, San Francisco's moving on to the Super Bowl. Then in the Super Bowl, here we go. We got the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers. Now, in my playoff predictions video, I predicted the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. So, although I did horrible this year on my predictions, 2-6 in the first round, or 2 for 6. I only got 2 right, the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. And then in the divisional round, I chose, what was my championship round? I had the Ravens, the Bills in the AFC, and I had the Niners and the Cowboys in the NFC. Yeah, my Super Bowl was the Ravens versus the 49ers, with the 49ers winning it. Of course, it absolutely should be the Ravens versus 49ers right now. I mean, it really should be the Ravens versus the Lions. I think that would have been the best case scenario for most fan bases across the country, just for the NFL in general, for the fans. Anyway, I think that would have been the most favorable matchup there. Everybody would have been going for the Lions. Alas, we get a freaking rematch. Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers again. I think most of the country is going for the Niners. I'm definitely going for the Niners. Fuck the Kansas City Chiefs. I am sick of that freaking football team. But yeah, it is what it is, though. San Francisco versus Kansas City. My prediction, I'm going to stick with it, man. I'm going to pick the 49ers. And I'm definitely rooting for the 49ers, too. So, yeah. So, that's my recap of the NFL playoffs. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, thank you guys for all the support lately. You guys have been absolutely killing it. We've had our best freaking month on YouTube ever. Like 30,000 views. You guys absolutely destroyed my NFL playoff predictions video. Unreal, guys. The support has been absolutely awesome lately. We've gained over 100 subs this month. It's been great, guys. Thank you guys for all the support, and we'll see you guys in the next one.